Imagine New York City, the winter of 1902. The air was heavy, freezing and thick with industrial coal smoke that clung to everything, especially the windows of the new transit vehicles. This was a world of iron, steam, and electric trolleys, vehicles that demanded the constant, absolute attention of the men operating them. Yet the greatest danger for those motormen and drivers wasn't mechanical failure or sudden traffic. It was the simple, unstoppable combination of freezing grit, soot, and sleet. When the wind shifted, that oily industrial grime mixed instantly with snow, coating the entire viewing pane in a thick, opaque film that instantly blinded the operator. This sudden disappearance of the world ahead was the profound, daily struggle of the motorman, forcing him to make a terrifying choice every few blocks. Unlike the conductor, the motorman was trapped in his small, exposed cabin. He could not reach the front window to wipe it from inside his post. The only reliable way to clear the glass was to stop the heavy trolley completely, bringing the entire line to a screeching halt and forcing passengers to wait. He would have to step out into the bitterly freezing slush, climb down, and manually scrape away the frozen buildup with a heavy woolen rag, or often, just his bare hand. This absurd, tedious procedure took minutes of valuable time, caused massive delays, and forced the motorman to take his attention entirely away from the delicate controls and gears. For the early automobile driver, the situation was often just as bad, but far more dangerous because of the increased speed of the vehicles. Any loose chunk of ice, a passing stone, or heavy debris flung from another wheel could strike them instantly, causing severe or permanent injury to the face and eyes. It was a truly terrifying trade-off. You could either see where you were going and risk a severe, life-changing injury, or you could stay safe and risk a deadly collision. The entire transportation industry, focused on maximizing engine power and speed, largely ignored this daily, terrifying struggle faced by every single driver on the road. The solution needed to be simple, intuitive, and desperately needed to be automated. Yet for decades, it was considered an unsolvable problem of modern transit. It was a dangerous, common problem, yet for years, no one saw a viable solution until a visitor from Birmingham, Alabama, stepped onto a New York City trolley. The suffering motorman was not the only person who noticed this fundamental flaw in early automotive travel. In the winter of 1902, a sharp-eyed visitor from Alabama arrived in New York City. This was Mary Anderson, a woman who carried a mindset perfectly trained for practical innovation. Mary was not a struggling inventor hoping for a lucky break. She was already a highly successful, independent businesswoman. She was a respected real estate developer, owning apartments and handling major property transactions across the state. She also managed a cattle ranch and oversaw a vineyard, demonstrating a keen aptitude for complex, diversified enterprises. Her success was rooted in her ability to identify inefficiency and implement streamlined, elegant solutions. Mary Anderson was a fixer, a problem solver who approached the world with rigorous, practical curiosity. This mindset, this constant search for improvement, made her an unlikely but perfect observer. On that brutally cold winter day, Mary boarded one of New York's newly enclosed electric streetcars. The snow was falling heavily, turning the large front window into a hazy, impenetrable sheet of white. Just as she had seen countless times before, the streetcar driver was battling the elements. The process was absurdly dangerous, disrupting the flow of traffic and risking the safety of everyone on board. Mary watched this routine, not with frustration at the delay, but with cold, hard logic. The entire system of transportation was being bottlenecked by the simple necessity of seeing the road ahead. Why, she thought, must the driver expose himself to the elements every time vision was obscured? Why couldn't the cleaning mechanism be operated from the safety and warmth of the cabin? The solution, once framed by her practical mind, became instantly clear. Mary Anderson reached for her notebook and a pencil. She began to sketch the fundamental mechanism right there on the streetcar. The design centered on a simple, oscillating arm, fitted with a rubber blade or scraper. This arm would be connected to the interior of the vehicle by a sturdy lever, allowing the driver to control the motion. Critically, the arm would be spring-loaded and weighted, ensuring that it maintained constant contact with the glass. A single pull of the lever would sweep the entire window clean, and then the spring tension would pull the arm back to its resting position. The device would be simple, effective, and require virtually no effort from the operator. Mary Anderson had solved the problem of obscured vision in one stroke of genius. It eliminated the stops, the cold, the danger, and the absurdity witnessed by everyone on that streetcar. The idea was so elegant that Mary immediately pursued its protection, filing for a patent that year. The idea was simple, elegant, and immediately functional. The only task remaining was turning that sketch into a mechanism the world would embrace. Mary Anderson didn't just observe the problem of poor visibility. She immediately began designing the permanent solution. Her goal was simple: clear visibility without the driver ever having to leave the relative safety of the cabin. The result was an entirely self-contained mechanical system, revolutionary for its time, and operated from inside the vehicle. The arm was intentionally spring-loaded to apply constant, heavy pressure against the outside glass surface. This firm contact was absolutely essential for scraping away the thick, heavy, slushy snow and ice common in northern cities. To initiate the cleaning cycle, the driver simply reached up and grasped a small, ornamental handle mounted inside the cabin. Pulling this handle caused the exterior arm to sweep cleanly across the glass, clearing a path for safe driving. However, the true mechanical stroke of genius lay in the return mechanism, which solved the biggest engineering hurdle. Mary Anderson engineered a brilliant system of springs and levers, hidden neatly beneath the roofline. The crucial element was a precisely calculated counterweight mechanism, tucked away behind the dashboard. When the driver released the interior handle, the counterweight took over the work. It ensured the arm returned smoothly, silently, and automatically to the ready position at the very top of the glass. Mary Anderson understood that this was not merely a clever gadget. It was vital safety equipment, built for speed and efficiency. She immediately sought official protection for her design, filing the detailed application in the early summer. On June the 18th, 1903, she submitted her complete drawings and technical specifications. The U.S. Patent Office reviewed her exceptionally detailed mechanical plans over the following several months. Just 5 short months after filing, the patent was formally approved and ready for issue. On November the 10th, 1903, Mary Anderson received her official document of protection. The windshield wiper was now legally protected under United States Patent number 743,801. She had solved a widespread, dangerous problem that professional, male engineers had ignored for years. With the patent secured, Mary Anderson was ready to bring her invention to the burgeoning automotive industry. She traveled north to meet with manufacturers, certain they would see the necessity of her device. Her patented device was not a theoretical concept. It was a fully functional, tested prototype. It would save lives, prevent accidents, and radically improve the efficiency of streetcars and automobiles alike. She believed the industry would immediately recognize the massive commercial value of perfect visibility in poor weather. Anderson prepared to license her patent, expecting substantial offers from the leading vehicle companies of the era. She imagined a future where every car rolling off the assembly line would include her simple, elegant invention. She was certain that the industry would embrace her device, knowing it filled a profound and immediate need. With a successful patent secured, Mary Anderson began the process of commercializing her device, believing the industry would immediately see the necessity of what she had built. With the patent secured in the autumn of 1903, Mary Anderson began the difficult work of commercialization. She sent detailed drawings and descriptions of her invention to major manufacturers and investment houses across the continent. Anderson was ready to revolutionize driving, transforming a daily struggle into a minor inconvenience. The replies started coming back almost immediately, and they were not what she expected. The industry's reaction was one of baffled amusement, bordering on outright hostility. The general consensus was that her spring-loaded device was merely a frivolous gadget that added unnecessary complexity. Worse, many powerful executives believed the action of the wiper blade would be actively dangerous. They worried that the constant, oscillating motion would distract the driver and actually cause accidents. This view, of course, ignored the reality. Distraction was already guaranteed and often deadly. The industry was simply not interested in an elegant solution to a problem they considered routine. For them, struggling to see was merely part of the price one paid for operating an early automobile. But the true rejection stemmed from deeper industry biases of the early 20th century. The nascent automotive world was almost exclusively male, deeply conservative, and resistant to outside ideas. It was unthinkable that a woman, a real estate developer and rancher from Alabama, could solve this crucial mechanical problem. But one response in particular was so clear and damning that it sealed the fate of her invention. The letter was succinct, polite, and devastating in its final, commercial assessment. We see the cruel irony of history written plainly on the page for all time. The firm stated that they did not consider her invention to be of such commercial value as would warrant our undertaking its sale. Not dangerous, not poorly designed, simply, definitively, and officially worthless. With that one word from the industry, the door was slammed shut. The rejection of the windshield wiper was total and absolute across the entire industry. Mary Anderson lacked the immense capital required to manufacture the device herself against such unified opposition. She had gambled her own money and her own time, and now she had lost. But the colossal and defining irony of the entire story was already beginning to manifest, even as Anderson was being told that her simple device was utterly worthless. The market need for her device was exponentially exploding. The age of the automobile was arriving, and soon, millions of drivers would need Mary Anderson's perfect solution more than ever before. The industry rejected Mary Anderson's device outright, calling it frivolous and distracting. Yet, the profound problem of obscured vision did not disappear just because they dismissed the solution. The need for the wiper only grew more desperate as cars became faster and more common. By the year 1913, just 10 years after Anderson was granted her patent, windshield wipers were becoming standard equipment. Standard equipment on new cars, often marketed as a crucial safety feature. This means her legal protection did not expire until 1920. There is a 7-year gap between the industry adopting the technology and her patent running out. How could the industry make her invention standard without paying her a single penny for it? This contradiction reveals the most cynical chapter in the story. It reveals the deep, systemic failure of the patent system when confronted by powerful corporate interests. The major automobile manufacturers made a cold, calculated choice. They could license the invention from Mary Anderson and pay her royalties for 17 years, or they could wait out the patent duration. 17 years is a long time, but it is short enough to stall. Anderson was a single inventor with no national manufacturing or distribution power. Automakers, on the other hand, had unlimited resources for litigation and market manipulation. But the core genius remained. The spring-loaded, rubber-bladed wiper operated from inside the cabin. The industry was essentially running interference, dodging legal challenge for 7 long years. Every year they avoided paying royalties was a massive financial win, saving them untold millions of dollars. Anderson was an astute businesswoman, but she simply did not have the capital necessary to sue every major manufacturer. The industry knew hers was the best solution, and they adopted it fully, in spirit if not exactly in letter. They simply waited for the letter of the law to expire and for the clock to run down. The system was working exactly as powerful interests intended. It protected the corporations who could afford to litigate and ignored the rights of the individual inventor. The clock kept ticking. 1920 approached. The 17-year protection granted by the U.S. Patent Office was running out. Manufacturers prepared to fully implement the design without fear of legal reprisal. Mary Anderson watched her unique window of opportunity close, having earned nothing. In 1920, her patent officially lapsed, and the core technology became public domain. It was now free for anyone to use, copy, and mass-produce. But what happened the very moment that patent officially lapsed? The industry had waited just long enough. By 1913, the basic design of the windshield wiper was being adopted across the United States. The tide of rejection had turned rapidly. The very thing deemed too frivolous was now universally considered an essential safety feature. The clock kept ticking against Anderson. Her patent, U.S. Patent number 743,801, was active for 17 years. By the time it officially expired in 1920, her device was required equipment. For the design that revolutionized driving, she earned $0. She had been a successful, independent woman before the patent, and she remained so afterward, returning to her life in Birmingham. She continued her work in real estate and ranching, living a quiet, comfortable life away from the automotive industry that had dismissed her. For decades, the industry forgot the name attached to patent number 743,801. It was a long overdue honor for the woman who solved a fundamental problem of modern transportation with such elegant simplicity. Today, analysts estimate that Mary Anderson's basic mechanism is installed on over 1.4 billion cars globally. An invention once deemed worthless became one of the most widely manufactured automotive components in the history of the world. Her story is not just about a clever mechanism, but about the profound systemic failure to recognize talent when it appears outside the established power structure. It's a harsh reminder that innovation itself is often not enough to guarantee success or even fair compensation in the market. Visibility and the rigorous defense of intellectual property are just as critical as the initial ingenious idea that started the process. The story of Mary Anderson is a reminder that innovation is often not enough. Visibility and ownership are just as critical. But does her innovation still save lives today?